Hey guys, here's a video on how you can improve your swing playing with more groove. Swing is based on the triple movement. So if I play a triple in the bass, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And when I play the eighth note on that, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the basic of swing. It's basically a triplet groove where you play the first and the last triplet in the section. So you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And what often you do is you accentuate the last triplet, so it would be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4, because then you start pushing the groove. So for instance, if you play an F blues, it could go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. What I do here is I go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 4. Here I actually accentuate the 4 going into the new chord. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. It's a way of doing it. So I add an approach chord going to the chord. So I'm going from F to B flat. And it does, instead of just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I put in a rhythmic push going to 4 and da. So we go 4 and da, 4 and da, which is an approach chord at B13 or C flat 13 going to B flat 13. The same for going to F. I go E13 going to F. And what's accentuated in the triplet group is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so it's 4 and 4 and But the way we perceive the groove is just, we hear just eighth notes going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the middle triplet is implied. We don't play it all the time. Da, 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 da. But what we'll hear is just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So a good way to practice this kind of big band sound in blues to improve the swing feeling is put on a metronome or a backing comp and go through the blues, using approach chords chromatically from below and from above. So the chords we have in blues is F, B flat, F, C, F, B flat, B diminished, F over C, A minor 7 flat 5, D altered, or D flat 9, G minor 7, C 7, and then F, D, G minor 7, C 13, F. So an exemplification would be like 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, So I don't have to put it in all the time. I can usually do when there's lots of space, like in the beginning, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3. And here Here there's lots of changes anyway. And then I can go ba-da. So the 2-5-1 going into B flat is C minor 7, F7 to B flat 13. But here I can go chromatically downwards if I want instead. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, and da-da. I can also go the 2-5 as it's normally played. What's interesting as I go 4 and down. Going this way is 1, 2. This is called a substitute dominant chord going into B flat 7. You find a substitute dominant at a tritone's distance. This is F7. This is B flat B7. So you have a tritone. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 whole steps. That's a tritone. It's an augmented fourth or a diminished fifth. So if I play F7 here or B7 here, it's the same sound. So therefore I can go 1, 2, 3, and 4, or I can go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So way to practice this, we'll be going in the blues, so we'll go like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can go F, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So just practice the 4 and towards the approach notes. So that's a good way of doing it. So now we're going to do with the rhythm section, so you get a feel for it. So I'm going to take a fourth band in the box. And we're going to open an F blues track for you guys. And the track we have is called F blues jazz. Yes, and we can start and end where we want it to end. Or 12. So we're going to count it off. Let's see what happens. Now, tempo will go down to 100 beats per minute. So we do the tempo. And then count it in. And it's going to 1, 2, 3. Now, if you play with bass player, it could be good to not use the left hand. I did it now because we did it before. So if you avoid using the left hand and just practice the right, it could sound like this. 2, 1, 2, 3. 4, 3. such a kind of stylized way of doing it, like 4-and. Another common comp in jazz is playing just 2-and and 4-and. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3. And especially if you go fast, it's start being really groovy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you can do, start playing that, is doing it a bit slower and going you can go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, So you count and you go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a. So you can do this with the comping first. I play the left hand here because I'm used to playing walking bass just to illustrate it. But it can be really hard if you're not used to the rhythm. So what I would do instead is I would put on the backing track and then play this comp with the backing track. So let's check it out. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 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 2 and 3 and 2, 3, and 4. And then we can demonstrate it in a higher tempo. So let's do this 160, just to get a feel for it, what it sounds when it's up tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what I would do for swing comping, to get a kind of groove happening in the left hand, because I can push and create a good swing sound. And it's all based on triplets and emphasizing either often 4 or 4 and da. And here in the last one it's just 4 and da 1 and a 2 and da 3 and a 4 and da. I'm just gonna mention on the chords where I play the chords. I play 13 chords, so F13 is this. The F13 in itself is this chord. But you never play chords like this because it's gonna be very heavy. So you cut out the bass. What you do is you drop down the 13 here, and you play it instead of the 5th. Instead of the root, you play the 9 here, so the 9. You don't always play the 11, that's if you want a special sound, because it's really edgy. Because if I would play a comp a song with 11 all the time, I can do it. Wynton Kelly does a lot of it in his comping, and also Red Garland, but it gets a bit overused. It's like putting in lots of, sugar and strawberries into the cake all the time instead of having it now and then, for taste. So the usual F13 is going to look like this. Well, you can play it in different juxtapositions. So I would play it like this, and going back. And the next chord is the B flat 13, which is this. But instead of 5, you play the 13 here. So you play it here. Instead of the root, you play 9. And this chord you can juxtapose. So we go up and down like this. And then I would start playing them the closest way. So F13 to B flat 13, F13. Then you have C minor 7, F13, B flat 13, and then you have B diminished, which is this chord, and you could add tension here, which is the 6th. When you have a B diminished, you can add tensions one step above each chord tone, so you will get this. So you basically get a C sharp diminished on top of the B diminished. That was a lot of chords, but it's the way it works is if I have a B diminished, playing it like this sounds like old film music. So you want to add some kind of tension. So instead of maybe playing the diminished 5th, I play the 6th, and then it sounds good. In theory, I can play a C sharp diminished on top, but it's going to sound like advanced horror movie. So instead of going from B flat, going here, I maintain the G in the top, which sounds good and fresh. And then I go to F13 over C, B flat passing note, and then I have A minor 7 flat 5. I add natural 9, because if I add in the scale, I get a minor 9 there, which sounds really bad. So I play it like this, and then D, I can play D7 with flat 9 or sharp 9. Here's the normal D chord, which sounds like old classical music. So I play flat 9 instead of 1. Instead of the 5, I play flat 13. And why do I play this flatted? Yes, because I'm going to G minor. I'm in the key of G minor for a while. I'm going 2, 5, 1. And in the key of G minor, I have the 3rd is the B flat, and the 6th is the E flat. So therefore, if I play an D7 chord, a dominant chord, I won't play a normal 13, I will play flat 13 and flat 9, or sharp 9 if I want. Then I'm going to G minor 7. Instead of playing the root, I play 9. On a minor 7 chord, I cannot play 13. I can, but then it's not going to sound like a 2-5. If I go G minor 13 to C 13, it's the same chord. It's not really much difference here. G minor 13 to C 13. So if I want to maintain the progression, I go. So the 5th just stays as it is, and I get 2, 5. Because otherwise, if I go like this, it's going to get really confusing. So on the minor 7th chord, you just play the 5th as it is, but instead of the root, you play the 9. And then you go to C 13, and then we're back again. F, D minor D7 flat 9, G minor 9, C 13 F. Okay. So this is F blues, and what I do towards the end is a turnaround. 1, 5 7 of 2, 2, 5 7 and 1. And And when we play these chords, it sounds better. And what I did here before, B flat 13, that's just chromatically up. And going into F, I played E13 chromatically here. Yeah. So take your time. First I would study these chords separately. And so forth. Also go through these 2, 5, 1. And then F over C. A minor 7 flat 5 with 9, D, and you can do inversions of these two. This sounds really nice. And D minor 7 flat 5. Or sharp 9. Sounds really good, that chord. D minor 7, 9. C13. And you do it slower than I did. But it's a good exercise so you get this jazzy sound. Work with the jazz sound and with the accentuations, the one I did first. And also with 3, 4, 3, 2. And if you do that, you will start getting a really good jazzy sound happening. And always play with a metronome, or even better with a backing track. So then you will be able to improve your timing, maybe even tenfold with a good backing track. I suggest Band in a Box, has really good live backing tracks. You can change the tempo, you can record an audio track. If you need a backing track, you can mail me and I'll send you one. Okay, enjoy, have a nice time.